Hello and welcome to this overview of Roland Pro AV's V1 SDI video switcher. This is a 4-input video switcher with a mix of SDI and HDMI inputs and a very compact form factor. So I'm going to start with some key features on the V1 SDI. Easy setup, it fits anywhere. So this is a compact solution for combining multiple camera and computer sources, whether in a fixed location or for quick and painless setup at a live event. So you saw that footprint that I just had in that previous shot. Very compact and will fit in just about any space on a production desk. Full HD SDI video inputs, so it supports full HD 1080p video at 59.94 frames per second. So that's the 3G SDI spec. So it gives you smooth, detailed video from compatible cameras. There's also Windows and Mac control. So there's 2 free options for software control on the product page. So you just go to the V1 SDI product page and you can download and install the control software, the RCS software for Windows and Mac. So for this demo, I'm going to have the HDMI multi-view output up here, as well as the SDI program output right here. And so there are 4 video cross points for the 4 various inputs. And so switching is pretty straightforward. And we'll get into the I/O in just a bit, but you just select your transition type here, and you can use the fader bar or the auto button to make your transition. And notice that it defaults to program preset mode, so the top row is always red and the bottom row is always green. If you prefer AB mode, like the V1 HD, you can change it here in the setup menu. So you just press and hold for 2 seconds and you will see the menu pop up here. And you can go to that option and change the switching mode. The audio menu, you can just press and hold the audio button for 2 seconds. And then the memory is just a press and hold, and you can tap to recall a memory setting or press and hold to save. Also, you have freeze function here, and then the output fade control. So the DSK we'll get into a bit. That's for graphic overlays, but let's jump over to the inputs and outputs on the V1 SDI. So you have 3 SDI inputs, but input number 3 can also be flexed to HDMI. And these kind of follow the format switch. So on the bottom right, that side view there, you see a 3-position format switch. So if you're that's what you're outputting. If you're outputting 1080i or 1080p, you can bring in 1080i and 1080p sources on the input and it will automatically cross convert, but it will not up or down convert. So if you're doing 720p, you need to set the output to 720p and have your input 1 through 3 sources also be 720p. The exception is HDMI input number 4. You can see it says scalar right there in parentheses. This will automatically resize the input video to match the output format. In addition, you can further resize and reposition that video using the scalar functions in the setup menu. So this can be convenient if you have a computer source and you need to zoom in a little bit. For outputs, you have 2 SDI out. You have program and preview. And the preview out, you can also make another copy of program or make it the multi-view. And then the HDMI output defaults to multi-view, but you can also make that another copy of program if you want. And the thing is, though, the HDMI output will always have the multi-view or the menu overlay on it. You can use the RCS software to control all the functions on the V1 SDI, so you don't have to use the on-screen menu if you need to utilize that HDMI output as program. And then there's a USB port that you can use to connect to the computer for the RCS software for Windows and Mac. And RCA in and out, so you have unbalanced stereo line in and out for an external audio mixer. And on the side, additional for audio, you have an 1/8-inch mic input with level control and 1/8-inch headphone connector with level control. So we kind of covered the basics with switching, and I'll start to get into some of the effects here. So the first I want to show you is the DSK, or the downstream keyer. So instead of being in the effects like it was with the V1 HD, the V1 SDI separates it. So if I turn it on, you see it's targeting input number 4, but it's not keying anything out because we need to set it up. So what I need to do is go to the DSK menu here. So the source is input number 4 where I have my graphics, but default is a blue chroma key, so I got to change that to green. And so the key level and key gain you can adjust. You can also press the key level button and use the control knobs to adjust. So but let's see how that looks. So yeah, by default looks pretty good. But yeah, if you need to make more adjustments, you can see you can use these knobs here to, adjust the key amount, the level and the gain of it. And then you can turn that off. So now I have a DSK, and I can do mixed transitions. If I want to keep doing dissolves underneath, I can do that with my 3 camera sources. And then I can turn that graphic on or off at any time. If you want to set up picture-in-picture, here, this is going to utilize the 2 buses. It's a split bus effect. So when I press auto to bring it in, I can use these control knobs to set the position of it. So like the V1 HD, these are global control knobs. Now for the picture-in-picture setup, I'm going to go back into the menu and change the size. So I have different size options and effect options too. But I want to keep this as a picture-in-picture. So I have this set up as a picture-in-picture, and then there are additional settings on the next page. And you can go page up and page down with these mix and cut buttons, and then line up and line down with these DSK and auto buttons, and then set the value with the fader bar. So you can see I have the picture-in-picture set up right now, and I can kind of cut between these 2 windowed sources and keep the wide there. So you have some flexibility. So, this would be the background and this would be the foreground. And you can also mix in the picture-in-picture. Just note that the DSK will be overlaid on top of the picture-in-picture window. So in the effects engine, the layers go preview, then program on top, and then picture-in-picture, and then DSK. So that's how you run and set up multiple effects on the V1 SDI. And so I'm going to turn off the picture-in-picture and DSK, and just want to talk briefly about some of the audio settings. And I'm going to go back to page 1 of this menu here. So you have, you can do level adjustments here in the on-screen menu. So if you want to say, mute an SDI, input because you had a microphone and you don't want that audio in your mix, you can just turn it all the way down there. And you also have audio follows on page 2. So this is a helpful automation tool for automating your channel mutes. So if audio follows is turned on for SDI1, the audio from the SDI embedded audio will only be active and follow the mix level set here, which is pass through, when crosspoint 1 is selected. So when 1 is selected as program, that audio is open. But as soon as I exit the menu, as soon as I go to here, then 1 will be muted because it's no longer selected as program. And then also with audio follows, you can have the RCA inputs follow a particular crosspoint, as well as the microphone input. So next, what I want to do is show you the RCS software. So this is the free control software. And so here it is right here, and I have it connected. And so it's synchronized with the V1 SDI, and you can see I can control it with a mouse. All the controls are at my fingertips. And also I have access to the audio settings with more visual detail. So for this, I can click and drag and do more of a graphic interface for the EQ adjustments. And so you can see there's the fader I turned down earlier. And you also have access to all the menu settings, so you don't need to use the on-screen menu if you're utilizing that HDMI output as program. And so this is, you just make the USB connection, and then you click the connect button, and you choose to, which set of settings you want to use, whether it's the V1 SDIs or the RCS software. So you can also use this to back up settings as well to save parameters as a file on your computer for a safe backup. So that about covers the V1 SDI. Just wanted to review some key points from what we discussed during this video. So easy setup, fits anywhere. This is a compact solution combining multiple camera and computer sources, either in a fixed location or a quick and painless setup at a live event. Full HD 1080p 59.94 video, so that's 3G SDI. for the SDI spec. And so you get smooth, detailed video from compatible cameras, as well as that RCS software, Windows and Mac control. It's a free download on the V1SDI product page. Thank you again for watching this video, and if you have any questions, just contact us at Roland Pro AV. We're happy to help. Thank you again, and take care.